This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there. Welcome to another episode of my brain trying to function while watching Lol Cow Bus. So this is the second episode of Amber and Scooter fighting. And this is the second episode of Scooter confronting Amber about stuff. Random shit. And we just got done the third episode of me going over all of this dark anthropologically is up for members and should be probably by the time you see this live for everybody. But my point is that, we talk about how Scooter and Amber and Sweet Tea have all been playing characters. And by the time this is out, I know that there's been a leak that Scooter admitted that the whole Amber leaving and coming back. I think she leaves at the end of every week and comes back at the beginning of every at the beginning of every other week. Yeah, that made sense. Anyway, my point is, Scooter has basically admitted that this is all just scripted and that it's his storyline. Not Keem's. Scooter's taking credit for this storyline. Great storyline. Anyway, the point is, I am aware going into this reaction, and I was pretty much aware watching it the first time, this is all scripted. And Scooter has admitted it, but Scooter has also tried to do damage control, and of course Amber's like, no, it's not scripted, you guys, no. So anyway, I know it, you know it, they know that we know it. It's not the first time the LCU has had leaks like this, which also kind of makes me wonder if the leaks aren't themselves scripted. So, yeah, historically, they've had leaks about their show being fake, scripted, leak. There was a sentence there. And this is not the first time. It's just the first time for Bus, apparently, which makes sense because, everybody's really kind of coming down on them about this isn't real. It's all fake. Scooter turning on Amber is just part of the storyline, yada, yada, yada. Myself have put out 3 videos going over this in more detail than probably anyone ever asked for, kind of a thing. And even though I'm behind the show by roughly a week. And I think it's kind of nice to be behind the show, maybe not by a whole week, but by a little bit, just because it's nice to be able to go over these videos with a little bit of hindsight, because it's easier to pick out when certain things occur. Now, that being said, Amber still says things that do kind of catch her, at least in lies and things that we as a community, as the Amberverse community, have been, speculating about and things like that. But again, can we trust it? And that, is she getting caught in a lie, or is she admitting to things that she knows the community wants to hear her say, kind of a thing? As I was saying in the last reaction I did, because this is an actual full-on reaction now, I don't know how much of this we can really trust. Like, I know we want to trust it. I know we want to hear it. And I know a couple of you have been like, yeah, I know it's scripted, but it's still very, it still feels good to watch. And that, my friends, is why the WWE works so well. Because even though we know it's not real, it still feels good to watch. And that's how the Kayfabe, I don't like saying it. It doesn't look right. But y'all have insisted that's how it is to be pronounced. So Kayfabe, that's how Kayfabe is supposed to work. I know it's not real, but it still feels good. So that's the point. Right? That's why books work. That's why movies work. That's why wrestling works. And that's why the LCU is working. Because even though I know it's fake, even though I know it's scripted, I don't like any of these people. But watching Amber get her comeuppance, even though it's completely scripted and I know I can't trust it, it still feels good, right? Somebody else pointed out in the comments, though, that part of the reason why Amber being a heel in the LCU doesn't really work as well as it would, as a WWE storyline would normally work. Go away. Is that in the in the WWE storylines, there was a heel and there was always a face, and there was a rivalry. There was always a storyline, always had a good guy and a bad guy. And Amber doesn't have a face. Amber's the heel. We can all agree on that. But Amber doesn't have a face to fight with, right? So there's no hero in any of these storylines. And maybe they're trying to put Scooter forward as the face towards Amber's heel, because that's the other thing, is the heel is supposed to turn at some point, and faces turn as well. That's kind of the point, is, you know, the good guy's with the bad guy, and the bad guy becomes good guy, and yada yada yada. The snake eats its own tail. Amber can never become the good guy because Amber's not capable of that kind of redemption. Other members of the LCU could become good characters. So other members of the LCU could become faces, even though they are currently heels. And maybe that's what we're starting to witness, is maybe, you know, Scooter's trying to become the face to Amber's heel. We saw Roxy put forward, and I know some of you have told me to go back and reevaluate Roxy. I have started doing that. I will admit I haven't gotten too far into it, but I will look over Roxy's stuff again. But I'll admit, Roxy's a little sus to me right now, just because I know at some point she was connected to the LCU, and she seems to still be friendly with the LCU, or at least with some of the hosts on the LCU. And then there's Tina. I know that I'm not looking forward to that one at all. I don't know how much of that we'll go over, but when Tina comes on and starts screaming at Amber, and I think Amber rage quits. Sure. Anyway, you still have to sit through Tina yelling at Amber. Though, I will say, Tina thinks on her feet pretty fast. Or foot. Tina only has one. She does it to herself. She makes fun of it herself, so it's fair game. Anyway, my point is, I will give Tina that. But there's a point where it's just Tina just screaming, and it's too much. All right, it's just too much. But maybe they're trying to put Tina forward as a face? I don't know. I don't know enough about the personalities on the LCU to really tell you who's what, who's where. But, you know, maybe that's also part of it. Maybe that's, we're supposed to sit here and discuss who's the heel, who's the face. It's not Amber. Amber's always the heel. And like I said, Amber's not capable of turning. So for those of you who never watched wrestling, because a handful of you have told me you haven't, welcome to the world of wrestling. We're going to learn terminology that I haven't used since I was like 20-something. Yay! I miss wrestling. I kind of want to go watch real wrestling again. Well, real wrestling again. I want to go watch the WWE again. Is JR still announcing? Does anyone know? Somebody brought up, Heart. What was his full name? Heartbreaker. Oh. I feel bad because I can't remember everybody's names anymore, because I've had to like erase those parts of my memory to make room for other shit these days, and everybody keeps bringing like Randy Savage. Oh my god, I just remember people, and like all these people are retired and shit now, and I'm like, oh, really am old. Don't even know any of the wrestlers anymore. All right, anyway, into this thing. Much like last time, we probably won't watch the whole thing, just because some of it is not going to be relevant. And if you like these videos, please say nice things to my editor, because I have not made this easy for them. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Screw you, YouTube, who did some kind of adjustment recently, and eliminated over 30 of my followers. I just want to say that I don't usually do this kind of thing, just because like I feel like it's petty, but at the same time, YouTube's being shifty. And it really pissed me off this time. So for all of you who are supporting the channel, thank you very much. To YouTube, who's making it damn near impossible for channels to gain subscribers, maintain subscribers, and in general survive. Fuck you. Anyway, over it now. On to this video. We are using Apathetic Facts' video. This is Amber Reed gets exposed in real time. It helps when you guys, because I've been forgetting. It helps when you guys remind me if I don't link these videos down below, remind me to link them in the description down below, but I will do my damnedest to remember. This video will be linked down below if you want to click on it and watch the whole thing, because we will probably not be watching the entire thing. And anything else I want to say? Have I pissed off Big Daddy YouTube yet? I don't know. I may be losing monetization. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. This is after, she'll probably read this. After last stream, it was obvious the dynamic had changed. Scooter finally started pushing back and people responded to it. Scooter, okay, I disagree. I don't think Scooter was pushing back. I think this was scripted. To which I also believe that I don't think Scooter accidentally admitted live that he had scripted it. I think that also was scripted. I don't think anything happens on the LCU. Honestly, I think, okay, let me put it this way. I think very little happens on the LCU that isn't soft scripted. All right. This goes on to say, I don't really care if it's performative as long as someone is finally calling her out when the stories stop lining up. And within just a couple minutes of this stream starting, Scooter already catches her in the lie. It starts off with Amber claiming she doesn't know what Shrek is. I don't know why this is a thing. I don't know. But it's a thing that she kind of drags out up until the modern episodes. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. It's stupid. It's a stupid lie. It's a stupid lie for her to lean into. It's a stupid lie to have started. It's dumb. It makes no sense. And I literally could not care about it. So we're going to skip that part. Matter of fact, let me pull up the transcript. I know I didn't skip too far, but I think this is an interesting part here because, as usual, Amber's screaming and yelling because that's what apparently Amber's job is on here, is to scream and yell and whine. But it gets interesting about the Greys. Yeah.
Playground over there.
Canadian girlfriend.
What?
Do us all a favor and quit cat killer.
Okay.
No,
I might just do
you're
that.
not quitting. You're not quitting.
Cat.
I care about you, but at
Why
the same
did you
time,
title it?
if I'm going to properly defend you, if I'm going to properly understand your story so we can do this show for months and months to come, I need to know the entire story. I listen to your side of the story. I'm not watching a detractor channel. I'm watching Beck.
You are not listening.
I'm willing to fucking defend Amberlynn. I've done that for 2 fucking weeks, but I want to know the story before I get into doing that. That's all I'm fucking saying.
No,
because I
what's
want to know who
happening
I'm
is-
defending.
No, behind the scenes, I have a feeling you and Keem are doing a co-op. Why?
Co-op? They're co-owning something? I think it's interesting if you can tell. This isn't me cutting the screen, and I don't know if maybe Apathetic Facts did this, but Amber's screen is larger than the other two's. Yeah, that's a sentence. Usually, I think they're using Discord. Usually in Discord, everybody's screen is the same size. So I don't know what's going on here, but Amber's screen is taller than... Is this me? Did I do this? No. Amber's screen is taller than Sweet Tea's, and it's wider than Scooter's, and it looks like maybe it's just centered weird. And I don't know if that's intentional on their end or what, but it's definitely set in a way so that Amber takes up the majority of the screen. I don't know if that's Apathetic Facts' framing or if that's how they framed it for the actual live. I didn't watch it live. There's only a couple of these that I'm watching live, so I may end up having to turn some of the lighting off. I have a splitting migraine. But I'm like, no, shit must be lit.
Why the fuck are the Greys free? I never said that was okay.
So apparently yesterday Snowflake said that Emily was cheating on Amber with someone from Canada, and the chat immediately
Tommy Oak, 26th. Oh my god, STFU people.
started getting flooded with Tommy cheating messages. Amber and Emily completely panic and start demanding the chat be put into members only mode.
Why does Tommy have any say in any of this? I don't understand. Is Tommy part of the LCU? Is Tommy getting paid by the LCU? What is Tommy... Why does Tommy have any say whatsoever? I still am not convinced that this is Tommy, but maybe I'm wrong. And the reason I say that is because I think that it would be a great story for Amber and Tommy to get back together. What a great controversial story for Amber and Tommy to get back together. And I can totally see Keem putting that into action, like creating a sock account, because anybody could put a sock account together that's called Tommy Oak 26. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to take the time to verify it because I don't care enough. But my point is like anybody could put a sock account together claiming to be Tommy. And then playing along with Amber claiming that the two of them are together, right? And that's the end of that. All right. Boom. Into the shadows. Mwahaha. So I'm not 100% convinced that Amber and Tommy are actually back together. I'm not completely convinced that this is really Tommy. But, I mean, I was going to say something tart there, but I'm going to reel that back in. Yeah. It could be, it might not be. I could be very wrong. Time will tell. But currently, I'm not convinced. Currently, I think this is it a pose? Do we still call these pose? Currently, I think this is fake.
They've been begging for the Greys to be free all week. Dude,
You've been wanting them free.
Dude, the view counts are going up because people can actually type.
Hello, I'm talking. I'm 33.33333% of this show, and
Good for you. You can do percentages. You can do fractions.
I have a say. If the fucking Greys are out, fucking.
Okay, you have 33.3333333% of the say if the Greys are out. They have 6.6666666% of the say if the Greys are out or not. So, simple math says.
If you want to talk, put it on a 20. Point blank, peer.
When you were saying, Scooter, about how
Like a
you
ship?
want to properly defend Amber, I would like that too, because we started this like hoping that we
I'm
could
not a fucking cheater.
but like these problems aren't going to go away anytime soon. And we kind of look stupid because we don't know what the happened.
Exactly.
And
No, what looks stupid
does
is
suck.
becoming a Beck Stan account when you've never even known a Beck in your life.
and
I
that's
don't
it.
understand how I'm a Beck Stan account for watching Beck's
Because-
videos after hearing your story and just asking you questions about the whole relationship. I don't see how that's a bad
Because
thing.
Scooter. Are you old enough to wear a Nirvana t-shirt? Leave me alone, my head hurts.
In the same way that Tina and Gidget are now hopping on the hate train, you're gonna join in
What a
on your
shock.
mom doing the same fucking thing. Gidget used to like me. Now she's glazing fucking Tina's ass and made me all dry. I used to be wet for Gidget.
Why do you talk like this? Like, why? Why do you talk like this? Like, I understand, like, I know I keep saying, oh, this is, soft scripted and shit. Why do you talk like this? Like, you still make the decision to have these words come out of your mouth. Like, why? Who are you? Who do you think you're impressing by speaking like this? Like, you sound like a 9-year-old who learned how to cuss. You sound ignorant. You sound ill-informed. Like, intelligent people swear. Don't get me wrong. But there's a difference between intelligently cussing and doing what you're doing. And it's weird. Anyway.
But that.
Yeah.
You see these big clodhoppers right here? I have ears. I can hear your words that come out of
Is that what a clodhopper is?
those big
Oh, okay, then what did I say
I thought clodhoppers were your feet.
that was so bad on Cat?
You're talking shit about me regarding Beck, and Ken's like, yeah.
Well, okay, what specifically did I say? Because you're just saying I talk
Specifics, bro. I don't have to quote your ass. You said it.
I don't have to prove shit. Because if I'm just vague about things and loud, everyone will agree with me. No one agrees with you.
You know what you said. This is Queen Lynn right here. This is Stand Up For Myself Lynn. This is the best LCU host Lynn. This is what.
Honestly, I know I say this is staged, and I know I will repeat myself quite a bit. I think Scooter's the best host right now. Just as far as like performance-wise, I think Scooter's the best host.
But the Lynn has arrived, and you guys are going to be seeing. But it's supposed to be fun. No one fucking pays for fun. We try all these fucking little, oh, we'll do.
I watch a lot of things because they're fun. This isn't one of them. But I watch a lot of things. I watch 2 channels that just melt sealing wax. That's all they do. They just melt sealing wax and make various sealing wax stamps. They're pretty cool. They don't even talk. I mean, I guess it'd be ASMR because they do like the little clacky noises when the little sealing wax things goes into the little bowls. But like, that's pretty fun for me. I watch a couple different channels that just do miniatures. Like that's all they do is just miniatures. That's pretty fun. One of them makes miniatures. The other one just opens up like, what are those mini brands? He just opens up various mini brands and tells me about them and plays with them a little bit in front of me. I watch a bunch of channels that just play video games, mostly horror games, but they just play video games. Like that's pretty fun. That's a lot of fun for me. I've been really into this channel called The Horror Geek right now. I don't know what his real name is, but he's the one that makes all the JR references that I've been kind of mocking doing a bad job of mocking them. But mimicking, I guess, would be the better word. Anyway, my point is, I watch a lot of things that are fun. This isn't one of them.
This and that. No one fucking pays for it, but you guys want Fat Lynn,
And I'm actually a member of some of those channels.
Hectic Lynn, a Beast Lynn, Killer Lynn, all this Lynn. Well, here she is.
Snowflake.
Snowflake Lynn? Okay, this is after Amber claims she doesn't know who Jabba the Hutt is. I don't, again, care. Anyway, Scooter has been prodding her a little bit more about Beck. Here's the deal with Beck. I really do wish people would just leave Beck alone, but they're not going to, which is unfortunate, so we still have to talk about it. That being said, I know that I've seen Beck's public post, community post, about how they have never been contacted by the LCU, and even if they were, they would never go on this show. Again, never say never. However, strongly worded, I do believe that Beck has no intention of going on this show, nor do I believe Beck has ever actually been in contact with the LCU. And I hope Beck never changes their mind about going on to this show because, like, ooh, shit show. That being said, I do think it's kind of gross that they keep bringing Beck up, knowing Beck's situation and knowing that Beck has no intention of coming onto the show, because in the more recent episodes, they keep clickbaiting Beck, and I can't tell. I mean, yes, they're clickbaiting Beck because they know that gets the audience riled up, and again, audience participation is paramount. However, it also kind of feels like, at least from Amber's side of it, that Amber is trying to goad Beck into actually coming onto the show. Because remember, Amber is just fucking mean-spirited. Like, I don't know if Scooter and Sweet Tea are actually just nasty and mean, but Amber is. Like, Amber really is just a nasty, mean person, and she is especially nasty and mean to Beck. And the whole, like, just constantly trying to needle and convince, pretending like Beck is watching and being like, oh, you should totally come on. You could reconcile with each other, and we want to give Beck a chance, a platform to be heard, and blah blah blah. And it's like, Beck doesn't need you. So I do wonder if on the LCU side, I do know that they're just doing it for clickbait. Like, for the LCU, they just see clickbait. They know mentioning Beck and bringing Beck up is clickbait for a lot of the hate watchers from Amber and the Amberverse. Whether you love or hate Beck, a lot of people will watch if it has Beck's name on it. For Amber specifically, this is just her being nasty and mean, and it's just another way for her to attack Beck, right? This is just another way for her to constantly be harassing and attacking her ex. And this is something that I don't know if the LCU is aware that they're doing, but they are effectively platforming one ex harassing the other, right? If this was a situation where Amber was a man and Beck was a woman, this would not be taken very well by the greater public, because this would effectively be viewed as a form of cyberstalking, because it is. Amber will not let Beck go. Amber is going out of her way to ruin Beck's life in every possible way that Amber can. Amber is constantly performing ways of character assassination towards Beck. Amber is constantly bringing Beck's name up when it is unnecessary. Amber will not let Beck go. These are behaviors of an obsessive personality. And again, as I argue, if this were not effectively a lesbian couple, I think society would be looking at this a completely different way. And this is something that I see people argue in my comment section a lot, is that like this kind of interrelationship violence isn't taken seriously because it's not male on female violence. And I agree. And I know someone in my comments is going to be like, "Arr," and I'm like, we're not going to agree on this one. But if Amber were a guy and Beck was a female, because Beck is, I just fucking lost every word in my head. Non-binary. Whew. So these things look different. The point is, if this was a more traditional relationship, the majority of people would be on Beck's side in this, because they would be like, most people typically go for the female's side because men are traditionally seen as more aggressive. Amber is being incredibly aggressive towards Beck, but it is being dismissed as Amber's just Amber. Amber is effectively cyber stalking Beck, and it's being leveraged in the LCU as content. I don't know if the LCU is knowingly platforming it, thinking, "Oh, we're going to help Amber stalk Beck." I don't think that's what's happening, because I don't think the LCU sees it that way, because like most people in today's society, they just don't view it that way. And here's the other thing in my head. Even if they did understand that they are effectively assisting cyberstalking of one ex to another, I don't know if they would care. Which kind of makes it a little extra gross. So even if you were to go to Keem and be like, "Look, I understand you want content, and I understand relationship content is, a thing and people like that. Beck is a non-participant and you're assisting Amber in cyber stalking her ex." I think even if you went to Keem and said that, I think even then Keem would be like, "Yes, but it's content. Mwahaha." I just don't think Keem would care one way or the other, honestly. Maybe someone can talk to Keem and point this out to him, and maybe Keem can surprise me and be like, "Okay, yeah, maybe this is a bridge too far." I'll be very surprised. A, that someone could talk sense into Keem, and B, that Keem would stop. But that all being said, this is unfortunately the main storyline right now, is Scooter continuously bringing up Amber's behavior towards Beck before and after the relationship ended. So for those of you that don't like listening to that, there's your giant ass warning about it. We're going to plow forward because unfortunately it is the topic du jour, and we're going to keep listening. But if you guys click off, I completely understand. So there you go. And if somebody by some weird random chance is able to get hold of Keem and point out to him that this is not cool, and just because it's, Amber and her ex-partner, there we go, it's still cyber stalking. It's still violence. It's still real world violence. This is not plaguing. This is still real world violence that you're facilitating here. Anyway, onward. On that happy note.
Answer is that there's a lot of fucking people in chat that want to type.
They can pay to type.
Okay.
They do.
Yeah, the classic move. Can't control the narrative, so lock the chat behind a paywall.
How was Beck living off you for free when they joined you on almost all the live streams, which is your job? That means they should have been getting paid for
Oh my
making
God.
content on your channel. Is that
You
wrong?
are a
Not necessarily.
Kelly, I'm not gay.
No, I'm mad at Gigi. I am mad at Gigi because Tina was like, sweet Tina needs to talk for herself. Sweet she is kissing Amberlynn's ass. Okay, let's silence Amberlynn over here too.
I've never muted you. I've never turned you down. I have never silenced you on.
It must be the next episode where he legit silences her, which I understand was also staged, but oh man, it was nice. So nice.
This show. Okay. Can we pick
You
up?
gotta ask her the same question like 20 times, like an interrogator, to get her to falsely
Yeah,
confess.
because she
though.
never answered the question.
I hope the haters are f***ing happy. This is what I do with my life now. I am a beast every day I come on this f***ing show.
Like them or not, everyone
It is kind of nice.
watched Amber spend months berating back and breaking them down on her live streams. So let's be clear, Amber, this is karma, and it didn't come out of nowhere.
Hope people are f***ing happy. Turn the
Yeah, my
f***ing
first one, the
Super chat
Grace of Free.
announcing, Stop whining, Amber. Just own up to not paying Beck for being in your vlogs. And own up that the 5K was not important to you. Also, sweet tea, grow some balls. Proud of you,
I'm being
Spencer.
a good but unbiased person.
This is where the word
You're being a good rodeo clown.
unbiased starts getting misused. If every pushback only ever goes one direction, people are going to notice, and they are.
That tries to be. This is my coworker too. I like her.
I like her too, but it doesn't mean we have to. Like, dude, a good friend and
Okay, Scooter. I'm gonna Google Scooter. I'm gonna learn all about you.
please do.
If you, whatever you find, pass it on to me, because I don't know shit about these two people.
Please do.
And I'm gonna
a
bring it
good
to the next
friend.
show.
Please
Scooter
do.
did this and this and this and this and this.
A good friend will hold their other friends accountable and try to get
Bitch, we
through
ain't
to them.
friends.
Will you at least ask the questions a little bit more friendly tonight?
Okay, sure.
If you're gonna
No,
be
we have more. We're
Let's-
not talking about Beckmore. You've got to be yoga me.
There ain't
We
no way we're
didn't,
talking
end,
about
we
Beckmore.
didn't end the conversation yesterday.
Look, Scooter, I think that's
Dude, it looks like a mole.
What the?
And-
f-
It
is that?
legit looks like a mole, and it's gonna be worse
That
tomorrow.
might be bigger than my butt, and my butt's big.
Ah.
That's the biggest
I
nipple
like
I've
it,
ever
but-
seen in my fucking life.
How did the relationship between you
Sorry,
and Beck
Amber.
end?
I mean, from
Badly.
the point where they broke up with me, or like prior to? How exactly do you want the timeline? It felt like a roommate
Honestly.
situation type deal. They were gone for like a week at their families, and I was just at home, and I noticed they weren't communicating with me while they were gone, and then all of a sudden they messaged me. This isn't gonna work out, I don't think. That's how I was broken up with.
But
So the family talked her out of dating you or something? You think?
Maybe. I'm glad though, because we were not meant to be.
do they?
Can we just have Scooter and Sweetie talk?
They move out immediately. Like, what happens there?
No, they would leave whenever they wanted. They would go to their families, which was like 2 hours away, and then they would
Oh my god, 2 hours away?
come back for a few days and then leave for a few days. It was very back and forth. Then I get into a relationship. My partner comes to visit me and then realizes they want to live with me. And then that's when Beck moves.
Then my new partner, who I met days before, comes to visit, and I steal their keys and hide them so they can never leave me again. Sorry, that's not what really happened, but that's kind of what it feels like happened.
Oh,
And that was Feline, right? How did you meet Feline?
yeah, online.
Oh, like is she from like your community or something like that?
Instagram.
Okay, so she was a supporter of yours then.
Yeah.
This is where the timeline matters. 2 weeks after Beck, she's already in another relationship with a follower. And this isn't new. This is the same pattern we've seen every single time. Watching her push back out of the apartment so quickly, just to move someone else in, was uncomfortable to watch. And what makes this worse isn't the timing, it's the power dynamic. These aren't random people. They're supporters who already admire her.
And
Wow.
like how long between you and Beck breaking up and you and Feline getting together was there?
I started talking to Feline
What are you
Maybe
implying,
a
Scooter?
month later. I would
Oh,
say
wow.
maybe a month later. I've never cheated on my partners. We need to make
No,
that very
yeah,
fucking
no,
clear.
I'm
Last
not-
time I cheated, I was 17. Am I a fast mover on her? Yes, I move on
Yes.
lickety split quick, okay? I used to hate being the single girly pop, but
But now I can't find people who are willing to date me, so...
I grew up and I don't mind being single now, but I'm not single, but I'm just saying. Amberlynn's so horrible because she was in love with Destiny while with Beck. Beck admitted.
I don't care. All right, let's. I'm sure we all desperately care. We're gonna jump ahead a little bit though. All right, this is an interesting Sorry. This is an interesting point to me. Somebody asks, I think, well, we'll hear it in a second, but someone says, I think it was somebody, you didn't have access to the account, so how did you know how much money Beck was spending? Because one of Amber's claims is that Beck was just spending money hand over fist, rah! And that's why I couldn't have given her the $50,000, wow, no, $5,000 that was Beck's inheritance money when they left. Even though $5,000 is a drop in the bucket for the amount of money that I have. Which is it, girl? Anyway.
Only your side matter. You said, it's been clipped. You didn't have access to the bank account. How did you know what Beck spent if you couldn't see it?
So yes, Scooter is allowed to learn both sides, but the part that's frustrating to me is that I am telling the truth.
You can tell when ALR lies. She starts talking fast and trying to make it hard to hear and understand, then passes blame to others.
No, bitch. I am standing 10 toes down. I am not stuttering because I'm not lying. That's the whole.
How do you not stand 10 toes down? Like, how does that work? Like, you only stand on one toe? Where do the other 9 toes go? I don't understand that statement.
Whole point. And now I have my co-host doing it to me, where I thought this was going to be my outlet, but it's not. Next question. Do not even respond, Scooter, because I actually don't care. Said you didn't have access to the bank account. How did you know what Beck spent if you didn't? So, regarding that, I did not have full access. So I had my card. Beck had all the information. I was not able to log in on from my phone.
But I thought you would give your card to Beck because you didn't know how to use a debit card. I'm just repeating things that she used to say.
I did not know exactly what Beck spent, but I knew that Beck spent a lot of money because I saw packages come in. We went to the store together. We had hauls together.
So you guys weren't sharing the account at that point?
We were sharing the same account, but I did not have login information. I was not able to see it myself.
I got you. I understand.
How do you not have log information to your shared account? Even I have I wouldn't. I have login information to our shared account. It's a shared account. That's the point. Why wouldn't you have login information to your shared account?
Whose account was it originally? Because that's something I've been a little confused on. Was it Beck's account? It was Beck's account, and then they added you onto the account.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Under duress.
After the breakup, were you still financially supporting Beck?
Yes.
And for how long was that going on?
So the car that Beck was driving, I bought.
That's not the question. This isn't the question. The question was, how long after you broke up were you supporting Beck? You bought the car long before y'all broke up.
That was my car.
Whoa.
That's not you supporting Beck.
And I let them keep the car after we broke up. I could have had that. That could have been mine. I was still paying for gas.
Amber.
What are you going to do? You going to run after her if she takes the car? Okay.
You don't drive and you refuse to learn. Without Beck driving that car, you wouldn't have been able to constantly run to the ER the way you did, and still do. Beck drove you everywhere, even while dealing with their own issues and medications. And now that Beck is gone, someone else has to take on that role. And you had to move all the way to Oklahoma just so your mom can now fulfill that role. And let's not forget what happened last time Amber bragged about owning that car.
Okay.
I know this is funny. And I know the point is that Amber can't drive, so why would Amber need the car? It's irrelevant. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Amber can drive or not. It doesn't matter what happened when Amber tried to brag that she owned the car and Beck whispered, "Who's wiping your ass?" It doesn't matter because the question was, how long after you broke up were you financially supporting Beck? This doesn't answer the question. This is a dodge. Okay? Amber bought that car while the two of them were in a relationship a long time before they broke up. So it's an irrelevant question. And I don't know if Amber knows that or if this is just typical Amber, ooh, look over here kind of a thing.
Everything. The weed was the most expensive, I'm not gonna lie. It was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds a month. But I was in a relationship with Feline, because you guys know I moved on very quickly.
So this is a new thing for Amber, is claiming that she was buying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of dollars of weed. There we go. For Beck while they were in a relationship and apparently after they were in the relationship. But even though Amber was also partaking of the devil's lettuce, Amber's lettuce stash was different than Beck's lettuce stash. It was bought with different money, which Scooter also clocks her on. But it's just a dumb argument. And also, it's not an answer to the question, but it goes back to me saying that Amber is going out of her way to perform character assassination on Beck. I understand that, like, in a good chunk of the US, you know, pot is legal, weed is legal, so it's not that big of a deal, but there's still there's still a stigma kind of attached to it in a lot of places, and just in general. There's still the whole concept of, like, the pothead, you know, that kind of a thing. And that's what Amber's banking on, right? She calls Beck lazy, and then she's like, oh, all she did was lay around and smoke weed. I mean, I see what you're doing. I'm pretty sure everybody else sees what you're doing. So, I mean, from the outside, it's kind of seems harmless until you realize that Amber has been basically harassing Beck since they broke up with her. This isn't a one-off kind of ha-ha poking a joke at my ex kind of a thing. This is an ongoing calculating campaign of harassment that Amber has been performing against Beck since they broke up. It has been going on. How many years have they been broken up now? Every fucking year since Beck and Amber have been broke up, Amber has come up with something every year to go after Beck over. And Amber has the internet as her platform to do it on. And now the LCU is further platforming Amber and her harassment campaign against Beck, only now they're platforming it as entertainment because they're making money off of it. And we can say Amber was making money off of it too. I don't care if you love or hate Beck. I really don't. The reality of the situation is this is a harassment campaign.
And Feline finally was like, I don't feel comfortable with this. That is why I told Beck.
I don't really care what Feline said. Because you can say Feline said anything, because Feline wisely will not come on the internet and say boo. I'm not asking Feline to. After seeing how you go after Beck, Feline probably erased their existence from the internet and is like, do not contact me. I mean, I wouldn't blame Feline at all.
You need to go off of the account. They were making no income. I had over $100,000 in that bank. So it made sense to both me and Beck that I just kept the account, and they
me.
would move on since they didn't have, do you know what I'm saying? Next.
Okay, but didn't you say yesterday that, like, even after the breakup, and I actually know this, like, Beck appeared on some of your streams, right?
No, after we broke up, I think they were in maybe a handful.
So the answer was yes?
They were in some
Like,
streams.
it wasn't much. It was some. And if you're about to ask, did they get money from that? Yes, I'm telling you, over and over, they were allowed to use whatever money they wanted because they still had full range over.
That wasn't the question. The question was, did you pay them? And the answer was, you said you were going to, but there's no evidence that you did.
The bank account when we broke up.
But, okay, so here's where I'm getting confused. You were financially supporting Beck. You were paying for gas, you were paying for food, housing, all that stuff. And this was coming out of your YouTube money that you were making, correct?
Gave her a car.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought her a whole car.
A gift.
Before the relationship turned. So it's not, you didn't buy that car after you guys broke up, which is what she's trying to make it sound like she did.
Correct? Or was there something else?
I mean, their car sucked when I got in a relationship with them, and I said, I don't mind, getting another car for you to use. That's more reliable.
I mean,
it's really crazy to me that, like, how someone can do good things, but for some reason, it's now being presented as bad. That does not make sense. And I want these grays to go away. Can you please close the grays, or I will leave?
Okay. Sweetie, what do you think? What do you think?
Okay.
I mean, they've been saying some reasonable stuff, but I've seen a lot of, like, slanderous stuff.
Slander, defamation, lies, rumors.
Okay, slander and defamation are very hard things to prove for a public figure. So, like, that's basically just throwing words around.
Fuck on my fucking
But
tape.
it could still be true.
Okay.
So when you
That the lies and the slander are true? Yes, you're correct, sweetie. These things are true. Good on you. Buddy troll. I know what she was saying, but...
When Beck started dating, you changed your YouTube.
Sorry.
You'd pay checks to deposit into their account instead of yours. And you chose to do that and not have any login information to it. That Big Blue 02 super chatted $19 and
She's missing the point. You didn't manage your own finances?
She's not missing the point. Amber's not missing the point. She's dancing around it. She knows full well where the damn point is. That's how she's dancing around it completely.
You relied on Beck's account for everything. No transparency, no control, just dependence. That's not normal, and it explains a lot.
Amber was making Beck split the rent and Netflix after they broke up. Called Beck her
I think I'm
would
going
too.
insane.
reason ALR moves on fast is because she needs a caretaker. That's why Feline was photographed days after moving in walking her dog. No girlfriend means no walks for Twinkie. Also that bank account was linked to Beck's SS hash Pookie.
You're a dumb fucking piece of shit. If I needed a fucking caretaker, don't you think someone would be living with me? I'm alone 24/7. I wipe my own ass, I clean my own body, and I do everything my fucking self. I walk my own dog, I fucking clean out the litter box, I clean my own home, I wash my own hair. Shut the fuck up and stop being fat phobic, you piece of fucking garbage.
Jesus. Snaggletooth, welcome to Cash Cow for 3 months. Yeah, I'll pull up a picture.
Say Jesus one more time after I respond to somebody.
What? Tara Jones,
Yeah, you
thank you for Ban World.
Say what one more time? Say what one more time? Do you speak English? She's not fast enough to pull out those quotes.
I really didn't.
Liar, 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 liar.
Oh my god. All right, we're past Amber fake throwing her temper tantrum. Like a 9-year-old.
I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed. I want to know the answers, and every time I try to ask a question, you derail me. That's all. Let's go back to the car for a second. So to be fair, whenever you bought them that car, they were doing all the driving. They were going to like get stuff for you. They were going to. So I mean, like, it's not like you didn't get anything out of that arrangement. Like, so I don't know why you.
Does your mom drive?
She does.
Do you?
No.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Well, I bought her a car and I don't hold it over her head though.
My hands are not big. You're
I bought her a car and I don't hold it over her head though.
actually very small and dainty, probably way smaller than yours.
Oh boy.
What? I have no idea. Sometimes Amber's snapping at the chat, which I can't see, and nor do I care to.
Scooter, can you please
Oh,
show
shit, my
all a
bad.
picture of
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt?
I'm pulling it up.
Self-named Jabberlynn. Amber, don't
Yeah, I wanna
forget
see
Sweet
how
Tea
cute.
said you look like him.
All right. This.
Oh, so cute.
More like Appetite AA.
I didn't say you look like him, Amber. I said that he could be a sexual figure. Because
I skipped this part earlier. Sorry. Right. Anyway.
he owns Princess Leia.
So if you're paying for everything, how do they end up with $100 when they leave the relationship?
Because they already got what they got because they had free range like a fucking chicken of the bank account.
So, like, you basically just felt like, okay, I've supported them enough. I'm just gonna take all the money. Like, is that basically the thought process? This is,
I'm gonna message Team.
Oh my
Change
God.
the show name to Lol Cow Beck
dude.
That's a face right there. That's a face only a mother could love.
getting real close to just.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna block you from everything.
So, Jesus Christ. So the support you were giving them, was that a loan or was that a gift?
None.
One or the other, like
It
from a
was
legal
love.
standpoint.
It was
So it
love.
was a gift. I'm confused because you said you were paying all of their living expenses. You were paying for everything, right?
Yeah.
$5,000 didn't go far.
Oh, okay, but if Amberlynn Reed's making, 15 grand a month, the $5,000 should be pretty safe. After the relationship ended, how much did Beck have when they left? Was it $100? Because I asked you earlier and you kind of agreed with me.
They had full range of.
This is full rage. It's still killing me. But at least she admitted that it's like a chicken. Okay, well, I mean, at least you know you're using the wrong word. This is where I'm like, I can't tell if she really is being obtuse or if this is just the script. And unlike Tina, Amber can't think on her feet fast enough to come up with a different answer. So she's just locked in on this one singular answer and she can't shift gears. Because that's the thing with like the soft scripting is like it's ad-libbing up to a point, right? You have like the soft, you have an outline, right? And then you're just supposed to like vamp and ad-lib off of that. And clearly Scooter is better at it, and I think Sweet Tea, when she does talk, is better at it than Amber. I don't really know if Tina's better at it or if she's just loud. So there's that, but that's how this is supposed to work. But you notice that Amber just repeats the exact same answer every single time, and that's because she has the story, and that is the story, and you can't deviate from the story because she's learned when she deviates from the story, that's when she really gets in trouble. Because on her channel in the past, when she deviates from the story, that's when she starts getting into trouble. Let's listen to this one more time, and then I'm going to scroll through the transcript and see if there was anything else that I definitely wanted to talk about. And, yeah, then we're going to wrap up real fast.
You both
It's
did.
like you're purposely acting
You both
obtuse,
did.
dumb, dense.
No, you both had access to the money because you added yourself to their account. And then whenever you guys split up, you kept the account, correct?
Yes.
Legally, that money, like, they were entitled to some of that money. Welcome to Banworld, Miss Venom.
So I had to pay taxes. So
Oh, yeah, the taxes thing. This makes no fucking sense, by the way.
about 50,000 of that went to taxes because
In what world?
that was back when I was bad at the whole like tax game. So I had to pay
Yeah, but still.
50. I had to pay half of that. Okay.
You were paying half of your income as taxes? That... How? How? I don't understand how you managed that.
When they left you. So you paid $50,000 in
Dry
taxes.
cracked feet. I don't have any dry cracked feet. What the
Oh
fuck
my
is
god,
that?
Amber, stay focused.
You paid $50,000 in taxes. How much does Beck end up with after...
I'm done with this conversation.
Also, they weren't married, Scooter. Beck isn't entitled to half.
Well, it was Beck's bank account
Yeah.
linked to Beck's
done.
social
I'm
security
done with this
number.
conversation.
I'm just pointing that out there. If you're moving out on your own, you don't have an active job. Would you rather have $100 or your $5,000 inheritance?
And I have been leeching off of a woman for years, and they've been paying everything for me, and
Okay.
I haven't contributed a dime. But the 5,000.
Okay, well, number one, they helped on her stream. So number one, she was helping make that money. Number
Barely.
two, she was helping take care of her. So,
Barely.
Also, I think it's stupid to say that she should have been paid for the streaming thing.
Why?
Because I mean, like a lot of people get up on here and stream for free, and a lot of family members would do it for free. They were
okay,
dating.
but
Why should
no,
they
this
do it for free?
this was after
It's not
they.
working. It's fucking getting on the camera for a second.
This was after they broke up. Beck still did streams.
I know Sweet Tea's just playing the rodeo clown, and Sweet Tea's trying desperately to make these arguments make sense because they don't make sense, and I think even Sweet Tea knows they don't make sense, but that was a terrible argument. That was a terrible argument, Sweet Tea, and I think even Sweet Tea knew it was a terrible argument, but was committed at that point. All right, let me scroll through this pretty fast, and also the whole caretaker thing, like, as I stated in the last video, like, a lot of states will pay family members to take care of other family members as caretakers because that's still labor, right? You're still removing yourself from a traditional workforce in order to take care of a family member. You still need income. Most states will recognize that, and so they will provide a way for you to have income so that you can afford to take care of your loved one, right? So again, terrible argument. And emotional labor aside, the argument of she shouldn't have been paid because of for the videos she was in quite a few lives after the breakup. And Amber herself stated, "Oh, I'm her boss now." Well, that means that you need to pay. How the hell Amber managed to pay so much in taxes? She's got to be lying because that's just, which of course, I mean, it's Amber, but like that doesn't make any sense. I have paid taxes on YouTube income. That's incredible. That's just a lot. I've never had to pay taxes that high on anything ever. Anyway. Okay, so there really wasn't anything else I wanted to go over. This is the beginning of the smack talk between Tina and, well, it's not the beginning. It's the ongoing smack talk between Tina and Amber via their television shows. Yes, their individual lolcow shows. And yeah, that happens. Amber goes for the 9-year-old potty mouth crap. I don't care to listen to it again because it's uninspired and I don't hang out with 9-year-olds. So anyway, but that's pretty much it. She gets a couple more Snapchats. Good Lord. She gets a couple more paid insults. Someone compares her to her father. I don't care. And she just screams at the camera some more. And that's pretty much it. So I think we pretty much hit the highlights from this episode that I want to hit. But the thing is that I don't want people to walk away from this thinking that Scooter has magically started to come around to the hater side of the Amberverse, because this is, again, as I've said a million times at this point, this is all scripted. And the whole thing between Giddy and Tina and Amber is all scripted as well. I don't even know if they care that each other exists, to be perfectly honest with you. Because, like, why would they? So there's all that. Now we will move forward and we will examine some of the other episodes. We won't go over every single episode because I don't care about every single episode. And I'm sorry to say that, but I just don't. But I do want to look at the episode that Tina finally does come on and yell at Amber, because some interesting things do happen in that one, both before and after, or both before and during Tina coming on to yell at Amber. And that I think is how we're going to be handling the LCU going forward, is just kind of examining, well, evaluating episode by episode if it's even worth going over as a reaction. And mostly I'm just really evaluating Scooter and Sweet Tea's behavior around Amber and the other LCU hosts around Amber, because Amber's behavior really isn't any different than when she's on her own live show. It's just dialed up to 11. And Amber's already been interviewed on another LCU channel talking about how you know, I think she says something to the effect of, you know, just be yourself, only extra. This is what you get. You get Amber being herself, but extra. And she's not wrong. So that's where we are with this. I really just don't want people walking away from Lol Cow Bus thinking that that Scooter is an ally, because he's not. Like I said, I don't know Scooter or Sweet Tea's story, so I don't really know why they're on the LCU to begin with. But I know that they're on the LCU, which means they're inherently untrustworthy. So, if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a teapot down in the comment section, just because I've scrolled through all of my emojis and that's the one that stuck out. So go ahead and leave a teapot down in the comment section, completely random. And let me know what you guys think down below. I mean, how many of you are believing that this is real? How many of you do think Scooter really is converting over to the hater side of the Amverse? How many of you are picking out your favorite LCU heels and or faces? How many of you are, you know, following the various storylines of what's going on around here? I have decided that Scooter and Sweet Tea are my two favorite LCU characters, and I'm following them closely. I'm gonna make maybe that's what I need. I need to make some LCU like wrestling signs to hold up. That's what I need. I gotta go find some cardboard now. Some LCU wrestling signs. Yeah. Woo! I'm so stupid. Anyway. Don't forget your emoji is a teapot. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. And I will see everybody in the next one. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.